Hello again, everyone. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I call it On the Consumer's Back because that's what everybody's been talking about lately. Can the consumer continue to carry us? Can the consumer carry the economy? Well, let's take a look at a couple of consumer ETFs, XRT and Consumer Discretionary, and let's see how they're doing. We're going to focus first, though, on the Dow Industrials as our major index of the week. And then I want to take a look at the VIX to see what it's saying right now. You know, we're getting some mixed signals and out of a bunch of the indicators. So let's take a look at these. So here's the Dow. On Friday, it was up 306 points and gapped up and just never really looked back, kept pushing. Now we've got a little bit of divergence showing up here. What am I talking about? You know, the price action here on Wednesday versus back here on the 5th of August went to a lower low. On the RSI, which I use a 10-day RSI, the RSI did not go to a lower low. Okay, so we're not, the indicator's not confirming it, and DI minus is not confirming it either. If it was confirming it, DI minus would go on to a higher high. Hasn't done that yet. Now, that doesn't mean that the divergence can't go away. You know, if we continue to sell off, that divergence could go away, kind of like right here where it came on down further and got, you know, more deeply oversold in here and created a different type of divergence or a different divergence in here. Okay, so we could sell off and take this down deeper. So we'll see what happens. Right now, watching this closely, watching to see what the price action does. Let's take a look at the week. So we are up. This was options expiration week. It was the third Friday of the month, and that's where the regular monthly options expire. You know, Friday, it was an up day for options expiration Friday, but it couldn't salvage the week. And for the week, the Dow was down 401 points. Okay, so here we've got the last 2 weeks breaking this upward trend line that's in place from that December low using the June 2nd low. That's the week of June 2nd. Okay, this is a weekly chart. So you can see what we got going on here. Let's take a look at the Elliott Wave picture. On a daily view, actually, let me go to the weekly first so you can see the bigger picture. You know, let me zoom out of this. My preferred count in here, intermediate wave 3 of primary wave 5 is complete, and that we are currently doing intermediate wave 4, and that the shape of intermediate wave 4 appears to be a flat, a 3-wave, a 3-wave, and now my expectation is for 5 waves to come on down and complete the flat. That's a classic Elliott Wave corrective pattern, 3, 3, and then 5, okay? Now, where do I have this? Down here at 138% of A, what am I doing? I'm comparing the C wave to the A wave, okay? Here's where they would be equal, all the way down here at 22,087. And here's where they'd be a little bit longer at 138%, which is not unusual for C to do this in a flat down here at 20,323. So right now we're just taking it one wave count at a time. And here's the daily view. We've got this wave 2 pullback, and that's the best picture that we've got right now. It could be that we're morphing into something else, but it might be a little too premature to move to that. So I am staying with this as a completed wave 2, and we'll see what happens in here with the price action. Again, I think the key thing is, does the price action, let me go back to the daily, does the price action continue to confirm what we're expecting and what we're looking for? And as I've said, there's a multitude of indicators we look at, and we have had some extreme readings on the indicators. Let's take a look at the VIX. Okay, the VIX on Friday came down 2.71 in here, closing at 18.47. So not surprising given a 300-point move in the Dow on Friday to the upside. Now, I drew these lines in here because this is what jumped out at me. It almost looks like a little bit of consolidation going on. Let me blow this picture out. The red line, I've got that at 20 because a lot of times what we think about, a lot of folks think about, is that when you get above 20, that you have an elevated VIX and the volatility is elevated. So I just drew that in there. Here's another long-term trend line that we erupted out of in the movement in the beginning of August, okay? And then we seem to be consolidating right now. So this move right here, the high, 2481, Okay, yeah, we got above the May eruption on May 9th. We've gotten above that. And it's interesting how we've kind of stayed. We had that second move that happened in the middle of this last week. Well, we really didn't get a ton of that in May, okay? But it kept selling off in May. The market did. The indices did. Look at the eruption that occurred back here. This is December. Look how high it got in December with the capitulation that occurred. All the way up to 36. Well, you sit back and look at that and think, well, wow, that's pretty high. Well, it was higher than October, but notice how the first thrust down in October, October 11th, that's still a lot higher than anything we've seen here in August, okay? And then if you go back and look into February of 2018, look at the explosion that happened right there. We got all the way up to 50 on the VIX. But we're not even close to the kind of price action that can happen in here if the market decides to keep selling off. So this is just something to keep in perspective. I'm looking at the consolidation, watching that. Let's take a look at retail, XRT. Look at the weakness in retail here, XRT. This low, well below the June low. And actually here, and this is a daily chart, so this was Thursday's price action. We actually slightly took out the December low. So extreme weakness going on in the retail sector in here. Now we may have gotten showing a little bit of bullish divergence in here with this last move down, so it'll be interesting to watch. Let's convert to the weekly chart. On Friday it was up 80 cents. For the week it was up down $1.59. So here's how it looks on a weekly view, and here's a little better weekly view, and I'm going to zoom back out of this so you can see the bigger picture. Here's where it peaked back in March of 2015. Then it tried to go higher in August of 2018 last year, and it failed, and it collapsed right back down out of this. So right now, this level in here at about 38 is a very, very key level. We penetrated it, but if we close below that, I think that's going to be a real negative. Let's take a look at Consumer Discretionary. XLY was down $2.40 for the week. It was down just a little over 2% in here. You could see last 2 weeks broken this trend line, and this is trend line off that December low. So it looks like it's possibly getting ready to sell off. We'll see if it wants to continue in that direction. Okay, let's take a look at the Elliott Wave picture that we got here on the weekly view of this. And this is the long-term picture from the February 2009 low. I think we've had 3 waves up, 3 major waves up, what are called primary wave 3 complete in here. Within this very long primary, strong primary wave 3, we had 5 waves in here. And right now, I think just like what I'm expecting is happening in the market, like I just showed you in the Dow, I think we're doing a wave 4 and that we're doing a flat, okay, that we're mirroring that. So here in XLY, we've had a 3-wave move down, we've had a 3-wave move up, and I'm expecting 5 waves to come on down here. And again, here's the target in a flat, either 100% or 138%. And actually, I'm kind of leaning more towards the 138, mainly because it gets us closer to the previous wave 4, which is down in this territory. And many, many times what Elliott Waves will do is when they retrace, they'll retrace into the prior wave 4 of 1 lower degree. So that's the picture on Consumer Discretionary. Watching to see if the prices are going to continue to sell off. Okay, here's the daily view that I want. And you can see we're trending down. We'll see if we continue to get, we've got the same kind of picture that I told you on the Dow. We'll see if that divergence goes away or not. All right, if you felt like the video was helpful, give it the thumbs up. And if you're not a YouTube subscriber to this channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like more of this kind of information on a regular basis, would like trade ideas and more in-depth analysis, head on over to joehenches.net and check it out. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on the next video.